Hi, it's Brett and we're back with part 11 in the series Ultimate Energy Healing, and this video is about using your hands. If you've watched the previous videos, you will have noticed we've really gone into the background around what the energy is, how to connect with it, the nature of the energy, how it moves and all that sort of thing. But it's not complicated, and it's really simplicity is the key to really getting this technique to work, and it actually couldn't be easier. You don't need to do a training course or be certified or anything like that to do healing. A lot of us actually have a bit of a gift. It's an innate ability that we're born with. Others may need to work at it a little bit, but in essence it's a very, very simple process. Think about this, for example. When you get a headache or an ache and pain in your body, your natural instinct is to put your hand there to comfort yourself. And we think of this as just a natural instinct, and it is. We do have a built-in healing mechanism, and we all have it. And that's because our hands have the ability to transmit this healing energy. And think of it another way. For example, when a baby cries and you pick up the baby, your natural instinct is to rub the baby on the back and use your hands to comfort. So there's more than just a physical thing taking place there with the hands. There's actually an emotional, mental and spiritual thing taking place there, and the transfer of this healing energy is actually taking place as well. And compassion is a form of love. It's, caring about another person, and that's immediately going to switch on the inbuilt healing mechanism that we have with our hands. And also when we do it with ourselves, we're showing ourselves compassion whether we're aware of it or not. And that can actually be the hardest thing for us to learn to do. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the energy now. We've already spoken about this in previous videos, but the energy, the healing energy, is a form of energy that it's real and tangible and we can feel it. And we use the method of meditation and tuning in and resonating with, taking that perspective of the source of this healing energy, this universal source of intelligence and life. And when we tune into that, we are actually connecting with that energy that is traveling through our body, through our nervous system. So think about this. Our nervous system runs on electricity, which is in essence is electromagnetic energy and light. And our brain and our nervous system is the channel for that electrical energy, and it's also the channel for that healing energy to move through. And remember, we spoke about healing energy as being a form of electromagnetism or electromagnetic energy. In a sense, it travels through our body using the conductor for electrical energy, which is our nervous system. So our nervous system is our brain, our spinal cord and our peripheral nerves that go out to the muscles in our body. And we know we get electric shocks. We know electricity travels through our body quite well. Well, it's the same with healing energy. But it will only travel when you connect the circuit. So, in other words, when you touch somebody and you show compassion with your hands, you're creating a connection for that energy to move through. So the same applies with us. When we want to do self-healing, and you'll have my diagram here. This is an advanced diagram compared to the previous diagrams we've had, which have just been stick figures. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a little bit how to heal yourself with your hands. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to animate this drawing, and I'm not going to draw hands, but what I'm going to do is show you the points on the body that it's really important to connect with. So as we spoke about, we need a connection to take place with the hands in order for the circuit to be complete so that energy can flow. Now this energy comes from, you could say it comes from our heart. So we've got a point which is above and beyond, I guess, our physical brain, and it's our, I guess you would call it our center, our core, our spirit, our soul. It's where the body and the spirit meet. And we often call that our heart, or our spiritual center, our spiritual heart. And that's actually where the energy enters the body. And although we've spoken about it coming down, it does actually come down through the brain and the nervous system. But this is actually the point where, the highest point where it enters. And that's because that's where we have this compassion and love. And it's also where our spirit enters the body. It's the center of that. So And you'll see this in different philosophies and religions, that it's around the centre of the body area, and it can vary a little bit depending on what you read. But basically, when we have compassion, when we care, our heart opens up. And when we put our hands out, we are opening a channel for this energy to travel, and it travels to our hands. And then what we need to do is place our hands on the person. And in this case, we're going to start with ourselves. So it's very good, and we just talked about a headache, when you've got a headache, to place your hands on. But what I would recommend doing is putting 2 hands on your head, and often this is easier to do when you're lying down. So the points on either side of your head can be around the temples or around the ears, and even sometimes on the back of your head. But use 2 hands on these points here. I'm going to use a different colour here for these points. So 2 points on the head are very good. And then also the heart itself, it's very good. What I find very good is to put 1 hand on the heart and 1 hand on the stomach. So and I'll just do this here and here, so heart and stomach. Those points are extremely good. And when you do both hands, you're creating a nice sort of, almost like a figure 8 circuit, which is fantastic. So you can do these 2 points together. And what you would normally do is lay the hands on there and do the tuning in, do the meditation, do the words we talked about earlier, and just open yourself up to allow the energy to flow and to feel that energy. But the most difficult thing for people sometimes is to have a sense of self-love and self-compassion. And that's why it's important to lay hands on yourself, because it gives you that natural instinctive response that you're showing compassion to someone, in this case yourself. And the easiest way I find to do that is to go back to what we spoke about in one of the first videos in the series, is taking a higher perspective. So going above your own personality and ego and going outside of that and seeing the big picture and realizing that you're just like every other human being on the planet. We're struggling, we're suffering, there's pain, there's anxiety, there's stress, there's emotional turmoil. There's all of these things that go on throughout our lives, and there's no way of really avoiding them. It's just a matter of how we deal with them. And so self-healing is really a way of dealing with all of that. And when we do apply our hands and we tune into that energy that we've talked about earlier, is immediately we start feeling peace and stress starts to move out of the body. And I should also mention the points on either side. So on either side of just below your rib cage, where you've got on your body your liver and your pancreas and your spleen, gallbladder, so all these digestive organs, because they actually struggle a lot with stress and emotional stress. They're part of the gut-brain connection with our body. So those are the main ones that I do, would be the 2 on the head, the heart, the stomach, and the 2 sides around the digestive system. Those are very emotional centres. And it's good to start from the top and work your way down, but it really doesn't matter, to be honest. If you do this for 5 or 10 minutes a day, you're going to be giving yourself self-healing. In fact, just meditating alone starts that ball rolling. So just to finish off this video about healing with the hands, what I'd like to do is talk about what might happen, what you might feel, and the way you can actually enhance this process. So one thing I've found is your hands they actually emit, when you're really connected with this healing energy, they emit a bit of magnetism, and some people can feel it, some can't. But when you push your hands together and just let your muscles relax and just feel what goes on between your hands, you might start to feel a magnetic push or pull, depending on what's going on. But generally you'll feel a push, and you might feel some warmth start to generate between your hands. So when you place your hands on the body, you might feel a similar thing. You might feel warmth. And generally, when there's a lack of energy in your body, you'll feel the hands being pulled in. In other words, that part of your body has been under depletion and there's not enough energy there, so your hands will be pulled in and energy will flow into that area. And if there's stress or build-up in the body, which is the most common thing, is that we bottle energy up in process and it becomes bigger as a massive energy, is you'll feel it kind of pushing you away, and you'll have to actually push into that energy, and you'll start to get lots of heat. So there's a combination of different things that can happen. You don't want to analyze it, just let it happen. Last but not least, you can actually encourage this energy to move a little bit quicker by moving your hands sometimes. So you might have had your hands laid on the body for a few minutes and you feel that there's energy coming out, and sometimes there's pressure or pain or discomfort as the energy moves, and it's a bit like, you know, popping a pimple or something like that. As the energy is moving out, it can be feeling like it a little bit uncomfortable, and so you can encourage that energy to move with your hands, and you can actually do this sort of thing or do this kind of movement, apply them over your body and move them up and down, outward and downward, and at the upper part of your body upward is sometimes really good as well, just to help the energy release and radiate out from your body. That's the ultimate goal of it. So feel free to go with the flow. You know, there's no strict protocol you have to follow, and just, you know, allow yourself to be guided and directed by the energy. And that's what I like about this method. There's no strict protocol. You know, you do what you feel comfortable with. Go where the pain is, go where the discomfort or stress, go with what you feel is right for you, and you'll get a great result. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope you give it a go. And in the next video, what we're going to talk about is how you can heal others in the same way, in the same fashion. So thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.